sleeps goes deep through the ink-washed black. A sudden silence falls, a quiet track. She sits alone where the shadows claim their ground. The air hangs heavy with the almost she's found. In the stark-lit room where the silence feels like chains, the surge of heavy burdens floods her weary veins. Responsibilities tear at every thread she spun. Soul-weary scribe, feeling everything's been done. The page is saturated by the tears that never dry. She's reached the threshold where the heavy full stops lie. Hands raised to the rafters, voice worn thin and raw. Sustain me, Father, I can't carry this alone anymore. Every stanza is a weight I've tried so hard to bear. I'm spent and hollow, laid out in the evening air. But grace comes leaning o'er her trembling hand. Not a final ending, but a place to stand. The narrative isn't over, the ink still runs deeper. Shed calligraphy, the tired can keep unfinished and sacred. In the dark she cleans the rest of her epic. Unfractured wings, still she respires. Still the pulse persists. Still here in the stillness, grace through the mist. Still she pivots to the window, condensation on the pane. The world remains indifferent to the grief and the rain. Others never witness this dark evening light, a sobering inheritance, her ache taking flight. As tangible as the pressure that restricts her chest, an invited existence put to the test. No longer take me, but a whisper steady and new. Hold the line, Father, see this darkness through. The ink starts to move, though hesitant logic to the sky, a babble of dissonance, weary of asking why. She yields to the mystery, the map she cannot hold, trusting the silence for the line yet untold. Finds the quiet rhythm as the ink begins to fill. The next verse is rising, peaceful and still. Beleaguered on every flank, yet not constrained, bewildered in the void, but the panic is contained. Hounded in weather, but never alone. Fell to the dust, but not overthrown. Beleaguered, not constrained, bewildered, not in despair. Hounded, not forsaken, fell, but not destroyed. Now grace comes leaning o'er her trembling hand. Not a final ending, but a place to stand. The narrative isn't over, the ink still runs deep. A shared calligraphy the tired can keep, unfinished and sacred. In the dark she clings, the rest of her epic, unanointed way. The door stands open, the dawn begins to break. With every breath there's a new path to take. She spreads the wings that the author restored, crossing the threshold she once had ignored, to find the weary where the silence is cold, and tell them there's